Hello, ma'am.
Good afternoon, and congratulations on your admit.
Thank you.
Please share your profile, your work experience, and your results with us.
I have completed my graduation in computer science and engineering back in 2000. Then I started working in the IT industry as a software developer. Gradually, I moved into a product profile. So right now, I'm working as a senior product owner with close to 8 years of experience by the time I joined the college. I have worked in different sectors. So I have worked with intelligent document processing, that is a digital transformation arena. I have worked with financial market compliance domain. So this is my domain work experience.
You've applied to the MBA programs in India as well as abroad. So, what were the factors that were important for you to select the programs?
So there were a couple of factors, both personal and professional, that I was thinking while I was choosing for the colleges. The factor was on the work experience. So I wanted a college that where I could justify my work experience and I could use it post MBA as well. So I also wanted to continue working in India even after the MBA. So these were two major factors, and given these factors, I felt that the executive MBA programs here in India would be beneficial for my profile and my future aspirations. I was also planning to apply to Singapore colleges, NUS and NTU, but then after discussions with the members or students who were already working over there, I found that the job market in Singapore is a bit tough for the immigrants, and that's why I thought of not applying to the Singapore colleges and decided to stick with the Indian executive MBA programs. I had also applied for ISB PGP, but for that program, I felt that my experience age was a bit on a higher end, but I still liked the college, and that was the reason that I had applied.
You are headed to IIMA PGPX. Correct. It is a very long process, writing the GRE and then going through the applications, the interview. So, what are the things that you think are important for people from a mental health standpoint? How do you keep yourself focused? How do you remain disciplined in this particular process?
Everything comes to a point like what is your drive towards achieving your goal. So that is the basic thing that gets you up every day, irrespective of what job you are in and how taxing it is. That is one important thing. Apart from focusing on your studies, you should also focus on some kind of meditation, just 5 to 10 minutes of your day, and some kind of exercise to just keep your mental and physical health same during the entire process. From a preparation standpoint, I had opted for GRE instead of GMAT. The GRE structure was more convenient for my profile. So again, while choosing the exam, I had given a sample or mock exams of both these tests, and I had felt that GRE like suited my profile a bit more in terms of my aptitude. So I went with GRE. So I would suggest everyone to do that, because right now you get information from a large applicant group who is also competing with you. You have seniors who keep on advising you to give one exam, but it comes down to what you feel more comfortable. Even if you are listening to a lot many people, you should also take a step back and see what suits you more, even with the exams, and also in future with the college that you want to apply to. With GRE as well, I don't give up on your score in just first attempt. So if you're not satisfied with your score, go ahead and give more attempts and get a strong score, because though score is not a holistic thing that will get you to your desired B school, it definitely adds to the overall composite score that your profile gets.
So, to summarize, a very common question is that does the school prefer GMAT or do they prefer the GRE scores? I don't think there's any preference in any case.
Barring IIM Kolkata, who there's any kind of preference that has been given to any of these exams.
Don't
Like
allow
just
it.
you could choose either of these exams, whichever suits you better.
So the idea is that you should see which particular test matches your learning style and your own individual preparation, as what you've done since the past, and where you can get a high score which is more related to what your own capabilities are, what is your
Correct.
academic. academic
Correct,
capability.
correct.
Correct. In terms of the application writing process, how did you go about, telling your story and putting up a strong application?
One advice I would give everyone is that when you start, you feel that okay, my profile is probably too common, or especially for me, since I came with that IT background, close to average experience age, you'll not understand more about your profile unless and until you start writing what all you have done. Prepare a master CV. These are some of the questions about myself and my professional journey. Don't be choosy with your words. Don't try to concise your or brief your words. Write a whole story. You could use this as a central document to answer your college application. That's what I had done. I mean, started out just writing out what all attributes I want to do, want to focus on, and then started using it. Whatever the questions were, started using it in those questions.
What was the interview experience like, and what were the important parts of the preparation that went into a good performance in the interview?
You need to carry yourself confidently. Nobody knows everything the interviewer is going to ask, because the questions vary greatly. Whatever preparation you have done, if you are not presenting it confidently, it will not help. That's the most important thing I would say. But apart from this, you could start reading the editorials. That definitely help in building your perspective or opinions about certain topics, which is what the interviewers also look at. Mock interviews, definitely, you and sir helped me a great deal with the mock interviews. Getting feedbacks on those mock interviews is definitely a good thing. Again, the third aspect that I would suggest everyone focuses on is the is trying to know the college that you're interviewing for. So say IIMA, you will find certain things on their official website, but there are also key things that the ex students and alumni network could help you with answering. So connect with these folks before you go on with your interviews, and even before your mocks, do your homework. Those are a couple of things I would suggest.
For people who are starting off on the MBA application journey, just made up their minds and starting off with their test preparation, what would be your advice for them to take the process up the next year?
Don't be your own rejecter, as in let the college do it for you. Just go and start the process, I would say. Don't keep on ruminating whether it be around profile or when GRE scores or GMAT scores, will the score be enough. Don't get into all these questions. Just start the process with good consultant. I'll definitely recommend Goals ISB, because I did useful while figuring out how to portray my the CV that I had created in terms of the essays. That went smoothly because of you and sir. Do your research even when it comes to consultant. Don't just go by the word of the alumni. Every consultant suits each individual differently. Same goes with the consultant. Do your own research and homework. Then finally, I would say that sit and write your application, submit it, and that's it. I mean, let
Get
the process
started with
flow.
the process.
Yeah,
Go with
yeah,
the flow.
definitely. Yeah.
Correct. And any criteria which were important for you while choosing the admissions consultant?
Yes. So honestly, the current market has become very commercial. Some consultants charge exorbitantly, but the delivery part is strictly kept to a commercial basis. I didn't find the both of you to be in that boat. I mean, I felt that you connected with me. Even so, I would just like to share the short story, as in for IMA, I remember that I had just connected with you 3 days back. So, and I had my deadline just in 3 days. I had to submit my essays, and I had the master CV, and I just showed it to you. You took your time. You didn't reject me. You took your time to understand my profile and go through it to help me with the essays. So that thing I felt was really important and heart touching for me, because you could have very well said no, because I had come at a very last moment. And with the interviews as well, you took more time with me when I was fumbling at the start. I was not able to collect my thoughts. So I felt that connect was really important for me. As a person, I felt that that gave me more confidence in facing the interviews. I would also like to mention the end gesture that you made. So once I got the IIMA admit, I remember you sending me a small token of a gift. So I really love that kind of personalization. So these were a couple of factors that I was thinking about while choosing the consultant. I this journey, even if it's mine, the consultant should also find it important enough to dedicate that amount of time and effort and sincerity in that journey of mine. So I felt I got these aspects or things from Goals ISB.
Right. Thank you so much and stay connected.